precision medicine is actually the key, and everybody's moving forward to this precision medicine and personalized treatment, to personalize the treatment for each individual patient, for each individual pathology. I started working on focusing ultrasound through the skull, and actually I discovered neuroscience afterwards. So I came from I would say, very basic science, but then once we knew how to concentrate ultrasound waves precisely deep into tissues is when we started discussing with physicians and with neuroscientists, and they were the ones who were very enthusiastic about the technology, and then we kept on collaborating together, and it was a very good match actually, and it is true that manipulating the brain non-invasively seems very futuristic, but we are there, and it's at its infancy, but it's fascinating what we can do with ultrasound. Well, I found the brain stimulation session very inspiring, and especially discussing the latest development in TMS, and also looking at the history of TMS, and discussing what were the refinements that have been achieved so far, and the shaping of the magnetic beams. It's very similar to ultrasound. Actually, we have different problems we have to deal with the skull. TMS has rather to deal with the brain architecture, but at the end we face the same problem, which is to make sure that the maximum intensity of the stimulation field that we're using is at the right location, no matter if it's magnetic fields or ultrasound fields. Is the same issue, and it's very important to be as accurate as possible, and everybody is moving forward to improving both technologies. So I would say the takeaway is that we still have a lot to learn on the technology and on optimizing the way we can modulate brain activity with focused ultrasound. Fortunately, we have tools now to be quite precise in terms of stimulating the brain at a given targeted location. And we should not underestimate the impact of the skull bone that distorts the waves. It has been neglected for a while. Now everybody knows that we should take care of the skull, compensate the aberration. We know now we have tools to do so we should do it. We are at a very early stage in ultrasound neurostimulation, and we need to optimize the parameters, and there is so much we can learn from the TMS world. Somehow we are exactly at the point where TMS was 30 years ago, and they made so much improvement in the technology, in the treatment parameters, the number of sessions per day, per week, and also the pulse repetition frequency, adjusting all this. And now, I mean, we basically need to do the same with a slightly different technology. So it's very good to look in the past, look what they did, and what we should do in a similar way, and what we should also avoid, and learn also from some of the mistakes that were made in the past, but also build on the success that they had so far. I would say they should trust their mentor, because their mentor knows the field, they know where we are, they know where to push the limits. So my number one advice is to trust them. And second advice is to carefully choose your mentor, because that's also key, of course, in pushing the limits and that would benefit to the career of young researchers. ANT Neuro is quite a big company now, but it's very nimble, and it's been very useful to us to discuss with engineers and somehow adjusting the device for us to be able, for example, to use the visor in an optimized way that we could manage to position the ultrasound transducer very precisely. And we could not do it without a change in the device. And I appreciated that ANT Neuro, dedicated a lot of efforts to help us and accompany us in this wonderful adventure.